Choosing calm over stress, my job interview preparation. Hello and welcome to Lifestyle with Maria. Today, I'd like to share something a little personal with you, my thoughts and feelings on the day before a job interview. It's Tuesday evening, and tomorrow I have a job interview for a customer service specialist position at a telecommunications company. You might expect me to be nervous. You might expect me to be worrying about everything that could go wrong. But the truth is, I feel surprisingly calm right now. Of course, I know that tomorrow is an important day, but instead of focusing on stress or anxiety, I've chosen to see this interview as a pleasant conversation between people. I imagine a relaxed atmosphere. I imagine us talking about the role, my experience, and how I could contribute to the company. And somehow, that perspective helps me stay grounded and at ease. I started preparing for the interview yesterday. First, I carefully read through the job advertisement one more time. Sometimes we look at a job posting once and assume we've remembered everything, but I wanted to take a closer look. I wanted to understand exactly what the company is looking for, which qualities are important to them, and what the position would involve on a daily basis. I also watched the short video they had included with the job listing. It gave me a better sense of the company culture and the environment I might become a part of. After that, I sat down with a pen and paper and wrote down a list of questions I would like to ask during the interview. I chose to write them down so I wouldn't forget anything important. When we're in a new situation, it's easy for something to slip our minds, and I wanted to make sure I remembered everything I was curious about. Today, I continued preparing, this time with a little help from artificial intelligence. I copied the job advertisement into Copilot and asked it to help me prepare for the interview. The results were surprisingly helpful. First, it generated a list of questions that a hiring manager might ask. As I read through them, I realized that while I could answer many of them, I wasn't always sure how to express my thoughts in the clearest and most professional way, so I asked it to provide short sample answers as well. There were 18 questions in total. I read through them carefully, and then I went through them again. My goal wasn't to memorize answers. I simply wanted to understand how I could communicate my ideas more clearly and confidently. Then came the part I enjoyed the most. Copilot asked whether I would like to do a mock interview. Of course, I said yes, and so we began. One by one, it asked me questions similar to those I might hear in a real interview. I typed my answers. It reviewed them, evaluated them, and suggested improvements. Altogether, we went through 16 interview questions. I have to say, it was a very interesting experience. Some answers came naturally, others required a bit more thought, and there were a few questions where I honestly didn't know what to say. In those moments, I simply admitted it. I asked Copilot to show me an example answer, and that helped me understand how I could approach the question more effectively. I'm an introvert, and I think many introverts will understand what I mean. Writing comes much more naturally to me than speaking. When I write, I have time to organize my thoughts. I can choose my words carefully. I can reflect before responding. A conversation moves much faster, and that's exactly why this type of preparation worked so well for me. It gave me the opportunity to think through my answers before sitting across from someone asking the questions in real time. Now, on the evening before the interview, I feel prepared, not perfectly prepared. I don't think anyone ever feels completely prepared, but prepared enough. I've done everything I could. I've invested time. I've gathered information. I've thought through potential questions. I've practiced my answers. And now it's time to trust myself. Tomorrow morning, I'll review everything once more. I'll probably read through the questions twice. And I'll revisit the mock interview as well, not to memorize anything, but simply to refresh my thoughts. After that, I'll print out my questions for the hiring manager. I'll make sure everything is ready. I'll take a shower, get dressed, and head to the interview. The interview is scheduled for 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Right now, I feel calm. And honestly, I don't know exactly how I'll feel tomorrow when I walk into the building. Maybe I'll feel a little nervous. Maybe my heart will beat a little faster. Maybe I'll get butterflies in my stomach, and that's perfectly okay. It's natural to feel some tension when something matters to us. What matters most is that I don't let fear take control. Instead, I'm focusing on what I can influence: my preparation, my attitude, my openness, and the understanding that tomorrow's interview doesn't have to feel like an exam. It can simply be a conversation where I have the opportunity to show who I am, and at the same time, discover whether this position is the right fit for me. If you're currently preparing for a job interview or facing any important event in your life, I'd like to leave you with one simple thought. Preparation brings peace of mind. We don't need to know everything. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need to have a prepared answer for every possible question. We simply need to do the best we can, and then allow ourselves to trust that it will be enough. That's exactly what I'm choosing to do tonight, to trust myself. And tomorrow, to walk into that interview with calmness, a smile, and an open mind. Thank you for spending this time with me. Wish me luck. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon on Lifestyle with Maria.